Interesting times in football as the transfer market and Champions League drama continue to shake things up. Jurgen Klopp may no longer be on the Liverpool bench, but his shadow still lingers over the team's struggles. Mourinho is already circling a Real Madrid star for Benfica, Milan are chasing Robert Lewandowski, and Erling Haaland has gone absolutely berserk after City's latest European setback. All of this and more in today's episode. Another wild round of the Champions League has been played, and the biggest shock came in Turkey, where Liverpool fell 1-0 to Galatasaray. That result marks their second straight defeat in all competitions, following a 2-1 loss to Crystal Palace in the Premier League. It's not just about these two results either. Liverpool's season so far feels unconvincing. Yes, they're near the top of the table, but it doesn't come from systematic play or tactical brilliance. Instead, it's the brilliance of individual players bailing them out, those last-minute heroic moments we've seen so many times before. The legendary Liverpool character still shows itself, but the synchronicity, the fluid team chemistry that made them feared, has faded. And that's no coincidence. This summer's transfer campaign was the loudest in Liverpool's history. The club spent more than $480 million on new signings, practically rebuilding the squad from the ground up. It was the beginning of a new project, yet the performances don't reflect the investment. The real reason for Liverpool's decline can be traced back to one man, Jurgen Klopp. Not because he's still there, but because his absence has left a void no money can immediately fill. Klopp officially said goodbye last summer, replaced by Arne Slot. But make no mistake, the first half of the 2024-25 campaign was still Klopp's team. The club barely signed anyone the year before. Federico Chiesa came in, but he never truly fit, and otherwise, the squad was the same one Klopp had molded. And Klopp wasn't just any coach. He was the heartbeat of Liverpool for nearly 9 years. From October 2015 to May 2024, he won the Champions League, the Premier League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. More than trophies, he built an identity, a culture, and an emotion. Even after leaving, his fingerprints remained all over the squad. The first half of this season showed that Liverpool were still running on Klopp's structure, his energy, his leadership. But after the winter break, Slot inevitably began to make changes. He didn't rip it all up, but his tweaks slowly altered the DNA. By spring, Liverpool began losing that magic edge. It wasn't a collapse, it was the natural transition from one era to another. Klopp's final legacy? The 2024-25 Premier League title. That trophy, even though Slot was already on the bench, will always belong to Klopp's Liverpool. Now, after a massive spending spree, Liverpool are truly Slot's team. The expensive new arrivals, the fresh tactical ideas, and yet the absence of Klopp's intangible magic is clear. This is no longer his Liverpool, and the process of building a new one will take time. Victories are still coming, but not through fluid team play. They come from individual brilliance, not collective dominance. We are witnessing the birth of a new Liverpool, Arne Slot's Liverpool. It's a painful transformation, but also a fascinating one to watch. The only question is whether he can bring back not just results, but the style, the joy, and the magic Klopp created. Back in the Champions League, Manchester City were frustrated by Monaco in a 2-2 draw away from home. Despite dominating much of the game, City slipped up defensively. Pep Guardiola was his usual reflective self afterward, insisting the performance was good and improvements would come step by step. But it was Erling Haaland who stole the headlines with his fury. He went off after the match, saying he was raging, furious, and sick of dropped points. Forget personal records, he wanted wins, and in his eyes, City weren't doing enough. His explosion of frustration is a warning. He demands more. And if City don't deliver, the storm around him will only grow louder. Over in Spain, PSG stunned Barcelona with a 2-1 win at the Camp Nou. Luis Enrique praised his team's resilience, saying they were phenomenal in the second half. For him, it was about belief, confidence, and teamwork. On the opposite side, Hansi Flick admitted his Barcelona side were second best. He recognized PSG's quality and bluntly stated that his team must learn to work harder, defend together, and use space better. PSG wanted the ball more, fought harder, and deserved the win. It was a painful reminder for Barcelona that flashes of quality aren't enough without collective effort. At Stamford Bridge, Jose Mourinho returned with Benfica, but Chelsea edged out a 1-0 victory. Mourinho was his usual pragmatic self after the match. He claimed Benfica deserved at least a draw, but the real damage had been done in earlier games, particularly the shock defeat to Qarabag. He insisted his team was growing in confidence despite the setback. Enzo Maresca on the Chelsea side admitted his men lost control at times in the second half, but was delighted with the clean sheet. For Chelsea, stability is key, and grinding out wins like this is exactly what they need. Meanwhile, a story that could shake La Liga and Serie A alike: AC Milan's interest in Robert Lewandowski. At 37, his Barcelona contract runs until 2026, but the Rossoneri are preparing to test the waters. Their strategy has been clear: blend experience with youth. Luka Modric's arrival this summer proved the formula works, as he's already become a leader in Milan's midfield. Adding Lewandowski would continue that vision, pairing Modric's control with the Polish striker's goal-scoring pedigree. It would be a huge move, signaling Milan's ambition to challenge the very top of Europe again. Mourinho, meanwhile, is plotting a move of his own. Reports in Spain suggest he's targeting Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. The Spanish-Moroccan midfielder has grown frustrated with limited minutes under Xabi Alonso, barely 200 minutes played in 6 appearances. Mourinho believes Diaz can be the centerpiece of his Benfica rebuild. He's prepared to offer him a leading role, guaranteed playing time, and the chance to be decisive in European competitions. For Diaz, who feels undervalued at Madrid, it could be the perfect escape route and a chance to reignite his career. For Mourinho, it would be the first big signing of a new era. And finally, Bayern Munich are preparing for a battle to hold on to Michael Olise. The French talent only recently joined the German giants, but has already become a vital piece of their attack. Yet Premier League clubs, especially Liverpool, are circling. With Slot still building his project at Anfield, players like Olise, already adapted to the English game, are prime targets. A tug of war is brewing, and it could turn into one of the defining transfer sagas of the coming windows. So, to recap, Klopp's influence still hangs over Liverpool as Slot tries to build something new. City stumble as Haaland explodes in anger. PSG humble Barcelona. Mourinho circles Brahim Diaz. Milan chase Lewandowski. Bayern fight to keep Olise. Football is as unpredictable as ever, and the stories just keep coming. That's all for now, friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think will come out on top in these transfer battles? And do you believe Slot can truly rebuild Liverpool into something as special as Klopp's team? Let's discuss it together.